Hello, everybody. My name is America Guerrero, Sales Development Rep at Encora, and I'm going to host today's session. We will talk about seeking mentorship to build your career as a woman in tech. What a convenient topic to learn from me today. Please welcome our guest speaker, Cecilia Uriona, and team leader at Encora with a strong background in software development, project management, and UX. Welcome.
Thank you, America. I'm very pleased to be here today to talk to all of you about this important topic because I believe all as women in tech need to be present and have in mind that we can seek mentorship to grow our careers and accede to new opportunities that maybe we don't know yet about.
Oh, this is going to be so exciting. Cecilia, before we start, I want to remind our audience that you can follow us in our social media appearing on screen. And this session is part of Global Devweek organized by Encora. Don't forget that. But now, that being said, let's talk. Cecilia, the mic is yours.
Thank you, America. Thank you so much. So, allow me to share some things about this seeking mentorship as a woman in tech. We have a number of points in the agenda. First, we're going to talk about some pillars. What is mentorship in this context? Um, what could be common obstacles and how to overcome them? And how we can spot mentorship opportunities where they are not as visible as we would like them to be. And some key takeaways in the end. So, first of all, why do we seek mentorship as a woman in tech? We're going to talk about that later. But we're trying to understand mentorship, what means mentorship in our careers and in our lives. And as I said before, obstacles and how can we spot opportunities. First, to understand mentorship, we kind of need to see three similar concepts that are being talked about a lot. Coaching is one of them. While talking about this, I have spoken to people that related mentorship, and we sometimes relate mentorship to coaching and sponsorship. You may say that these are not exact definitions. Definitions differ. That is okay. For the purposes of this presentation, coaching would be something where the relationship is being driven by the coach, and that we can belong to a specific organization. Maybe we can have a coach outside, but it has a predefined program and it tracks progress, mostly to develop specific skills. In mentorship relating to coaching, the relationship is owned by the mentee. And of course, it can belong to a specific organization, in this case, Encora, but addresses needs of the moment. And that's not necessarily track progress, but mentees can report about the progress of, of the advice that they have received from their mentor. And it can develop a number of skills that maybe we haven't foreseen at the beginning of the mentorship relationship. But all these mentors can grow into sponsorship, or maybe sponsors can be mentors as well. And sponsorship is having someone inside your organization that is in a more senior level that can help you reach to places that you can not reach on your own. Of course, getting those sponsorships is a reflection on your progress, but also can give you feedback about that progress. And but this is concentrated in opportunity discovery. So, why do you need a mentor? Why do we as women in tech need mentors? First and foremost, you don't know what you don't know. While seeking mentorship, you're trying to open the possibility to understand situations that are not exactly on your or on your site, that you don't have all the information around them. So this is why you seek a mentor. Many people have told me this. I can ask an AI, I can Google things, I can read the documentations. All those things help. All those things are fine. But there are some things that a people in a specific position can guide you through that you might not be able to go through on your own. To what end would you seek a mentor? Find or advise or advance in a career path. That's mainly the reason we try to seek a professional mentor. Or maybe drive your life we want it to be. Maybe we want some flexibility, some working remotely opportunities, or some learning opportunities that we want to grow our careers or our lives or our leadership skills into. So we seek mentors to drive that and to keep we keep mentors around because we can grow that relationship. But what you can expect from a mentor is advice and meaningful insights. And maybe I cannot hear what you cannot expect from a mentor is from them to do the job that you are well committed to do. Inside the relationship, mentorship relationship, or your job, or outside the relationship, following the advice that they gave you. And here is well, this quote is from Clem Blanchard. We're going to talk about a bit about that book later, but the guidance that really made difference actually comes in short, meaningful insights in the right moment. So, who can be your mentor? This is one key question that I have asked and I have been asked a lot. And a lot of advice out there says, who do you want to be like? Who do you have a career crush on? But sometimes those people are far away, are not exactly on your achievable circle. So an inspirational mentor actually can be a public person, but we need to keep in mind that maybe private personas are different than public personas. Of course, we need to grow a network of mentors. Not only one person can solve all the questions we have, all the advice we need. But the main thing is to build relationships. Sometimes we meet people that are experts or at least more advanced than us in different subject matters. We need to understand that those different people are going to be able to give advice on those different subject matters. And one thing that I found very important to mention, and I actually struggled with in my own career, is you need to open your mind and allow yourself to be mentored by your peers. Sometimes we get into a place thinking that we know all there is to know about a certain skill, a certain role, or a certain subject matter. And you can learn a lot from your peers if you're on the right mindset. So, having a growth mindset is very, very important here. Some of my best experiences, ones I currently have as an Encorian, are brought in by my peers. I'm very thankful for those experiences. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But here's one important thing, and this is from the current research about mentorship in the STEM fields. Seeing someone that can serve as a role model, someone that is your peer or someone that you see alike, is very important for us to see us in a different position. So here's the thing, when should you seek mentorship? A lot of advice out there says, okay, mentorship is particularly important at the beginning of careers, and I honestly disagree. Because careers are no longer the straightforward line that we see here on the first line. Sometimes we go advance until the mid-career and we come back and want to grow some skills and then go back to establishment, try to grow some things. We capitalize all we already know and then we go back. Sometimes it's not only one time, we do that several times during our careers. So, or we may incorporate some other types of work. So I think mentorship is key in every stage of your career. Where can you find mentorship? And here's the thing, we sometimes have in our minds that we need an established program and someone that we can label as a mentor in order to get there. But that's not essentially true. We're going to see that in the types of mentorship that I put you something there in the following slides. But group settings are great. And here I want to give a shout out to a group of my peers in Encora CSA, a group of the team leads and project managers where we discuss our things, we learn from each other. I have a very active group there, so a big shout out to my guys there. And you also can spot mentorship opportunities in meetings. Sometimes in meetings, you meet people that you develop a career crush instant or over time with someone, and you learn from the way they manage the meeting, from the way they interact with the stakeholders, with other peers, from the way they empower the people around, and you learn abilities, technical and non-technical abilities. You can also provide volunteer work, get involved in the initiatives on your site, on your organization. You can volunteer from activities that every organization needs to develop. You can try in mentorship as well. We're mostly working in remote, but sometimes we go to the office, we meet with people, and we can talk face to face and see things that we're not as able to see in a remote environment. But remote environment is also useful because there are some people that are on the other side of the world that you can seek mentorship from or learn from. But the idea is that you find or create the environment where that is possible. Like paying attention to groups that meet regularly, like doing all the things that I mentioned before. But mostly and foremost, be in tune and pay attention to the situations where you can learn something. Be open to those situations because they're there everywhere at every step of the way. So, common obstacles and how to overcome them. And here, well, all this presentation is, it has research, it has books, it has things, but it's mostly based on my own experience and the experience of the people I have talked to. And first, it's really awkward. Let's be honest about it. It's really awkward to go to someone and say, hi, I do have a career crush with you. And would you be my mentor? And some people, I think most of us, might feel awkward in asking something like that because it means, on its own, it means a time commitment. It means a title that maybe the other person doesn't want to own in itself. What would the other people think about me? How can we handle the relationships between male and female mentorship, or overcome your? We need to overcome our own mindsets here. And there are several types of mentorship that will give us the opportunities to explore this and how to handle relationships in a way that is healthy, that doesn't interfere with the private life of anyone in their mentorship relationship, at least more than it needs to. So here we are. Finding the right mentor is very key. And it's an exercise of trial and error sometimes. So it's something that we can ask questions here and there, and we're going to find that person or that group of people that is going to provide us with insights and advice in different things, in different subject matters. Also, there's limited availability. Of course, people good on their jobs that are very skillful and that have careers that we want to emulate, sometimes they don't have enough availability to meet with us. So we can access their material, interact with them in social media, interact with them in the office or in the meetings in the office, and use those very little moments to get the key advice. We also have fear of rejection, of vulnerability. We talked a bit about that. And here's Some people will accept, other people will not. Some other people we don't even need to, we just need to observe. We don't need to make it open that we are learning from them. The job environment can help us a lot in provided in those moments where we can just observe someone on a setting that we need to learn abilities from. The lack of networking opportunities, sometimes we're the only person in that project from Encora, or we don't have a match relationship because we're working remotely, or we can have mismatched expectations of what means to be mentored or have a mentor. Also, lack of mentorship programs or resources, and that is something we all address all the time. Time commitment, we think that these are long-term relationships and maybe that time commitment is a lot for someone. Or finding and asking your message, finding your message. What do I need from this relationship? These are things that we need to bring on the table, and we're going to unravel each one of them in different phases. So, in mentorship relationship, there is a preparation, there is a negotiation, there is establishing growth, and there is closure. Sometimes this is not as straightforward as it looks here, or is not as obvious. But even when we're getting into a meeting, we at least prepare for the meeting, saying, what was the last thing we talked about this? Where's my code? What do I need to demo? What do I need to bring to the table? So we need to talk about this. But even when it's a meeting that it's not exactly a mentorship relationship, there is preparation. So there's always preparation when you go into a mentorship relationship. Even as little that you don't notice, but there is always some. You negotiate, ask for advice, ask for the time for recurring advice. You grow from that advice if you take the advice, if you reflect on it. And then sometimes you close that relationship, whether it's because you change of roles, whether it's you change projects and you no longer see that person, or you have established a long-term relationship, but things move along in life and you get some closure there. All programs, formal or informal, or relationships, formal or informal, have these stages. So, spotting mentorship opportunities. And here I start with informal mentoring. This is traditional mentoring. Mentoring is as old as humanity. The earliest evidence of mentorship relationships are in ancient Greece. And we didn't name or label that relationship as a mentoring relationship all the time. Informal mentoring is there, has been there, and will be there for the time that humanity is humanity. So we can take advantage from that. Formal mentorship is structured. And we don't mean a structure like a coaching program, in my definition, again, that has specific deliverables and things like that. That can be, but minimal structure can be very useful. Like we have a weekly meeting, like I have with some of my mentors here at Encora, fellow Encorians that give me, and I'm very thankful for that. A shout out to the people that give me their time once a week or once a month to review some things. Situational mentorship is for specific situations. I have a problem of this type and I need to solve them. What insight can you give me? Online mentorship, most of us are on remote settings, so we have online mentoring, our relationships, group mentoring, as I mentioned before. I have amazing groups, communities of practice. We in CSA have communities of practice. Other divisions have other groups that meet collaboratively to share knowledge. Speed mentoring, and this is a great experience if you have not experienced it. I think I get you that I advise that you get this, seek this speed mentoring relationships. It's like speed dating. You go into a setting and try to elaborate on someone's problem, and you just talk about it. Flash mentoring, you go to seek for an expert's advice, just a little of their time, an hour or less, and ask them for advice. Peer mentoring, we talked about it. Reverse mentoring, when someone more junior talk to someone more senior to help them develop some skills, technology skills, community building skills, person branding skills, whatever skill you have that you can bring to the table. This is good. But it develops a sense of belonging, a sense of interesting what you're the work you're doing. And this I think it's one of the key things that us fellow Koreans can do here, and everyone that is watching here can do that to build engagement in their project, in whatever job they're doing. So, as I said before, you need to pay attention and be in tune of what is going on. And the most important thing here is bring joy to the relationship. You can bring your skills, you can bring your abilities. But most mentors, and having been on both sides of this equation, we seek joy in the relationship we have with our mentees. And we seek joy in the relationship we have with our mentors. So you know yourself, you know how do you relate with people. You can grow relationships in a way that is true to yourself. But bringing joy to the relationship is really key. So I give you here some resources. You can find your career crash if you don't have one. Here at Encora, we have this beautiful page where we talk about the technology, and you see a list of innovation leaders. You can seek them in LinkedIn. The LinkedIns are listed there. Other well-known communities like that, you can go to AWS directory or Google Cloud directory. There are a number of these. I just put some examples here to find your career crash. But we need to communicate well and decipher each other's intentions. So we have formal mentorship programs, we have community sharing, and we have masterminds, as I said before. And here I want to give a big shout out to my friends at Encora Mexico, because the first time that I realized that it was a good thing to talk about this is when I learned about the mentorship program in Encora Mexico. Also, Encora Brazil has a beautiful program for interns that they have a formal mentorship program. In DAP, in the DAP divisions, they have a beautiful mentorship program as well. In Encora, Colombia, you can see a very interesting mentorship where they peer you with someone with your own skills. But we have communities, we have talks, we have masterminds that advocate to solve specific processes. And we can do that. I put here some examples of divisions and countries that I have reached out to. But we can have also other inspiration. And what I put here is some resources where you can see how these relationships can be developed. You can screenshot this, get to see them later. I'm going to go deep into this, but see how these relationships develop, see them in place, also suggested media, because we need to be in tune, we need to be open and pay attention. And for that, we need examples. So here, this episode is beautiful. You can find a number of podcasts, women in technology, women in that you can spot career crashes. But I love this beautiful this episode. Some books that will allow you to reflect on things that are good to know while seeking mentorship. Research some papers. I list you some papers, more books, but these are academic books. And I want to just end saying that Pat Mitchell, this amazing woman who's now the editorial director at Ted Women, said, "It is time to play all our cards. This is not about power, it's about better outcomes for everyone." So, for us women in tech and our supporters, this is it. So, thank you so much for your time, for being here. Hope this is helpful.
It was such an inspirational conversation. Well, talk, Cecilia. It was interesting for me to learn about the differences between coaching, sponsorship, mentorship, and why we need a mentor and how mentorship can help us to find a career path or to continue it, right? If I decide who will be my mentor. I need to meet people, build my mentor relationships. I also understood that it is crucial to have an open mindset, pay attention, and don't be afraid to ask for a mentorship. So it is like dating. You said that. So yeah, that is something that it was really cool. Thank you so much for sharing, Cecilia, and for the audience to watch this amazing session. If you would like to learn more, please check out our website and keep learning about Devweek. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, American, and very honored to be here as part of the Dev Weeks. You have to look at the other talks here now. There are a number of beautiful talks that we have on this channel. So thank you so much.